What's the most unexpected thing you've ever seen a bouncer do? I used to work at a bar downtown called the Rail Yard. Not a fancy place. Sticky floors, bad lighting, jukebox that only played country and classic rock. Our bouncer was a guy named Otis. Otis was 6'5", 270 pounds, bald head, arms like fire hydrants. He'd been a Marine, did 2 tours overseas, and had this permanent look on his face like he was deciding whether to let you live. Nobody ever argued with Otis at the door. One Friday night, we had a full house. Band was playing, people were shoulder to shoulder, and I was behind the bar trying to keep up with orders. Around 11, this kid walks up to the door. He looked maybe 21, barely. Skinny, messy hair, clothes that didn't quite fit right. He had a backpack on, which was already unusual for a bar. Otis stopped him. The kid fumbled through his wallet with shaking hands and pulled out a license. Otis looked at it, looked at him and said, "This expired 2 months ago." The kid's face crumbled. Not angry crumbled, defeated crumbled. Like this was the last stop on the worst day of his life. "Please," the kid said. "I just need to sit somewhere for a couple hours. I don't even want to drink. I just need somewhere to be." Otis stared at him for a long time. Then he asked, "Why?" The kid looked at the ground. "I got evicted this morning. My stuff is in this backpack. I don't have anywhere to go tonight and the shelters are full. I just want to sit somewhere warm." Now, the rule was clear. No valid ID, no entry. I'd seen Otis turn away guys twice his size without blinking. He once picked a man up by the belt and set him on the sidewalk like a piece of furniture. Rules were rules, and Otis didn't bend them, but something happened that I'd never seen before. Otis reached into his own pocket and pulled out his wallet. He took out 3 $20 bills and handed them to the kid. "There's a motel on 5th Street, the Greenleaf. They'll give you a room for 40. The rest is for food." The kid stared at the money. "I can't take this." Otis closed the kid's hand around the bills. "Yeah, you can. I've slept on the ground in places you wouldn't believe. Nobody should do that if they don't have to." The kid started crying right there in the doorway. Not sobbing, just tears running quiet down his face while people walked past going into the bar like nothing was happening. Then Otis took his phone out and made a call. "Hey Jolene, it's Otis. You still at the church? I got a kid here who needs a bed and maybe some help figuring some things out. Can I send him your way?" He listened, nodded, and hung up. He looked at the kid. "Change of plans. Forget the motel. There's a woman named Jolene at the community church on Baxter. She runs a program. She'll get you a bed tonight, and tomorrow she'll help you find something more permanent." He wrote the address on the back of a receipt and handed it to the kid. "You go there tonight. You tell Jolene that Otis sent you. And when you're back on your feet, you come back here and I'll buy you your first legal drink." The kid looked at him and said, "Why are you doing this?" Otis shrugged, and for the first time all night, his face softened into something that almost looked like a smile. "Because somebody did it for me when I came home and didn't have anywhere to go either." The kid left. I didn't see him again for almost 8 months. Then one Thursday night, this guy walks up to the door in clean clothes, fresh haircut, work boots. He shows Otis a brand new valid ID and says, "You told me to come back for that drink." Otis looked at the ID, looked at him, and pulled him into a hug so hard I heard the kid's back crack from behind the bar. Otis bought him 2 drinks that night. The kid, whose name was Reggie, now works at a warehouse across town. He stops by the rail yard every couple weeks. He always says hi to Otis first. And Otis always asks him the same thing. "You good?" And Reggie always gives the same answer. "I'm good." That's all Otis needs to hear.